Okay, let's look at Chicago. It's a recommendation for where I should live if I could live anywhere in the country. Overall niche rating, A minus, not bad. Areas of concern here. The reason that I'm leaving Washington, D.C. / Silver Spring, it's too much humidity, too much heat, way too expensive. The cost of living is too high, and housing is just ridiculous. Plus, traffic, just terrible. Otherwise, really awesome. Here we have a C in housing, C plus in jobs, C in weather, D plus in crime and safety overall. Those are not good numbers, so let's get into it. Chicago is a hoppin' cultural hub that's known to be liberal, has 2.7 thousand, 200 people living here. Really big city, and I'm not really a big city person. The other thing is the topography. Very flat with the Great Lakes right there, which blast cold across Chicago. So despite the cultural and economic hub, and the thing is, I can live anywhere, right? So the economic advantages and job security of living in a city, not as much a factor for me. Home prices are actually pretty moderate. I was really surprised by this. I expected Chicago to be really expensive. And these are not like hovels on the south side of Chicago. Like, a lot of these are in actually really nice neighborhoods. So housing costs in Chicago are surprising. They're like less than Ann Arbor, Michigan. Median home value here, $304,500, with rents averaging about $1,314. Now, and as you can see, there's a nice mix of renting and ownership. Cool factors, number 10 for the most diverse cities of America, according to Niche, number 21 for the best cities for young professionals in America, and number 55 for best city for outdoor activity, which kind of surprised me. Here is what the crime map looks like. You'll know North Chicago, you'll notice North Chicago, and right on the banks of Lake Michigan, really good low crime areas. The actual crime stats themselves, not great. Motor vehicle thefts are very high. Burglary is about half the national average. Robberies, almost 3 times the national average. SAs, not too far above the national average. Homicide, woof. That's pretty high, although assaults are relatively low. So that's really interesting. One note is that SA numbers have an indicator as to the overall equality within the area. So when you have high SA numbers, you tend to have big pay gaps between men and women, and other kind of like subtle misogynistic, like medically underserved, reproductive rights issues, these kinds of things. So this can actually be a really good litmus test for how well you, your daughter, your wife, your partner, your cousins, like just how well women will fare in a city. So I just took a look at kind of a random house to get a sense of what the tax numbers might look like. This particular one, I was surprised. It's affordable, relatively low crime, bikeable, walkable, good transit. Lot of street noise though. That's what that is on top, which I'm pretty sensory sensitive, so that can be a really... Here's where we run into problems. The estimated taxes on this are $8,222 a year. Yeah, that's $678 a month. And this is what the density looks like, which is suburban hell if I've ever seen it, but relatively safe, walkable, and access to transit, so there's that. But the density is really off-putting to me. Then we get into the weather. Very hot and very cold. 104 days annually where the nighttime temperature goes below freezing. No, that's a deal breaker. And then you have those really high temps and really high humidity, and yeah. And here we have 14 days annually where things go above 90 degrees. Couple that with 65% humidity, the Great Lakes, although breezy. I'm sorry, Chicago. I know you have a lot going for you. It's not you, it's me.